Happy Sunday, y'all. Hope everyone has an amazing weekend of honoring our fallen veterans. I hope all of y'all are going to memorial services, flagging graves, and honoring our ancestors. So, welcome to another great episode of Mason Dixon Podcast with your hosts, Vinny and my buddy Jude. And as always, before we get started, remember the views and opinions expressed here on Mason Dixon Podcast and on MAD are our own and just our own views, and they do not represent the views and opinions of any other person, group, or organization. Also, remember that subscribers help us put up statues. So for those that are visiting our page, make sure you like our page, share our videos, share the videos to as many people as you all can, and consider being a subscriber. No push, but being a subscriber helps us save up money for new monuments. It's only $5 a month. That is the price of a cup of coffee at Starbucks.
So also being a subscriber gets you access to our private content. It gets you discounts on shirts like this one, who are Tano's. Gets you discounts on products like this, little monuments. Vinny, what you drinking there?
So to get the ball rolling on our topic, so I figured we'd do a really cool topic of Southern Heritage. Southern Heritage Sunday. I thought that kind of rolled. One of the things that makes us Southern is our drinks. The South is known for not only its food, but an underappreciated area is our drinks. We have some drinks and some stuff that's very signature to us. We got our buddy Billy Mormon here. Great to see you, Billy. Billy says, what's going on, bro? Not much, man. Just chilling out and relaxing after a very meaningful trip in Virginia. How are you doing? I decided because one of my favorite drinks is bourbon. I am a wine and bourbon drinker.
Is that Kentucky Walker?
No, this is Breckenridge.
Oh,
but it is
Kentucky.
Kentucky.
Like Kentucky Walker.
And it says a blend whiskey with snow melt water from the Rocky Mountains.
I am drinking on top of So here's another thing. If you are a private subscriber, you learned how to make a coconut margarita.
That's right. Jude did a fantastic video on how to make a drink, and that's a recipe that I want to try now after watching that.
But also, the bourbon I'm drinking is Brothers Bond.
Oh, is that Georgia made?
Arkansas made. Again, I talked about it. Private subscribers. That's why you should subscribe. Get the proper content.
That's right. Thank you so much, Matt. Mr. Matt Burton says, great coverage this weekend, guys. You're welcome. It was an absolute honor to be there and to celebrate the raising of the 36th mega flag in Virginia. And thank you to all who were involved with that because it showed that unity is so important in our movement. Thank you for the stars, Mr. Alex Sheffield. Great to see you here. And Mr. Billy says, Southern Moonshine is a classic. Yes, it is. Moonshine is something that really is iconic when you talk about Dixie in the South. Kentucky, Tennessee, Appalachia area, they were well known, especially for that. Gatlinburg is the whiskey capital of, I think, Dixie.
I want to hear how do you guys feel about that? What is that new moonshine they got coming out? It's made in Tennessee, but it's not that illegal moonshine. But they got a new moonshine coming out. It's pretty good.
In Gatlinburg, I didn't get a chance to go last year with my family that went out to, go to Tennessee, but they went to this bourbon place and it had all different moonshines, all different flavors. And one of their flavors was a butterscotch, and that's the one I wanted, but they didn't have any more left. So my gram got strawberry and she got another one. I don't know which flavor the other one was, peach. The peach one was delicious. The strawberry one was also really yummy, but I will say this. It did smell like cough medicine at first. So that smell was a little off-putting, but it actually went down really well. I love this. David LeBeau, you read my mind. That is one of my favorite drinks when it comes to, Dixie and our signature recipes. Mr. LeBeau made a mint julep earlier today. That is absolutely amazing. If I go down south, I always order a mint julep. I think they're delicious. They are refreshing. I make mine very strong with the mint. I do it the Mississippi style. So I
like heavy mint too, though.
You like the mint one?
I like them heavy minted too. I like
heavy minted as well. Yeah, we have it up here. We have a lot of mint plants. Like, if any of y'all have ever gardened and you have mint in your garden, it spreads like wildfire. You have one mint plant, and all of a sudden you wake up the next morning and there's about 30 more. And I figured, you know what? If when life gives you mint, make some mint juleps. And that's exactly what I do when I harvest the mint. I love this. Billy said, if it ain't made illegally, it ain't moonshine.
See, it's a Smoky Mountain. That's what it's called. So if you've tried that Smoky Mountain moonshine, made in Tennessee, comment. Tell me what you guys think about it. Tell me when you're taking a shot, because I'm gonna take a shot at the same time, Benny. But again, if it ain't made illegally, it ain't real moonshine. Let me get a shot glass. Keep talking, but let me.
I figured I'd show this
Stonewall
one.
Jackson. Oh, that's awesome.
There's an amazing group in Virginia, which is the Stonewall Brigade SCV Camp 1296 from Lexington, Virginia, and they did a wonderful job at the service, and they had a booth, and I picked up a shot glass. I said, you know what? It's not often I buy shot glasses, but when I do have a, when I do buy them, they are usually Confederate themed. So I'm very happy to support our local camps and any pro-Confederate group that has shot glasses. And I figured, yeah, I'll buy one. Let's see what he says. That the brand that you mentioned, Jude, Billy had tried that brand and he said he tried it and he was not too impressed with it. What was it like? Too bitter? Or was it just not like made well? Mr. Christian Lee from the amazing Alamo City Guards. Great to see you.
Well, what I'll say about it is it's really smooth, but it doesn't. Yeah, let's take a shot. It's really smooth. Again, basically, if you're on the private chat, it's a bourbon made by a show. It's pretty good. I mean, it's smooth, but it doesn't offer a lot of flavor. It's not too unique. I'll say it's pretty generic, but it's generically decent, And let's just say we don't need to be drinking Jack Daniels right now.
No, not after controversy, and and especially not Bud Light. But it shows you that I think this is going to create such a good movement of local Southerners making their own businesses. Being original.
Yes.
This is something that's so important because when you have these large scale brands that make alcohol uses fermentation, and I'm going to give you all the ugly side of science, what goes on. So basically, when you make a big company, you have to make sure everything is consistent. What do? They take the microbes, the yeasts, and all that make the product, and they make it standard. So what they do is they make the culture of it, and they make sure that every single barrel and whatnot has the same culture. What that means in layman's terms is that everything you get is generic. It's just a cookie cutter. Now, when you support local businesses, they have a wider range of products that all taste different, and that's the nice part of it. It keeps it original. You'll have something in Kentucky that tastes much different from something in North Carolina and vice versa. Let's see.
Now, I'll give you
Dan Michael. Dan says, what's
I'll give you this one. This is just a generic whiskey. I mean, it's better than your $20 whiskey. It's generic. It's not as fancy as it could be, but at least we ain't buying Jack Daniels. So.
Mr. Billy says some was too sweet, but it ain't strong. A shine should be strong, but no burn. That's right. The texture.
You're talking about that. You're talking about Smoky Mountain, Billy.
Mr. Dan says RJ does a great job. Yes, RJ is wonderful. He has mad skill with the drone and with the camera, and he is such a wonderful gentleman. And it was an amazing time to spend time with him in Virginia. We went around to different history places, and it was wonderful. And we're going to hopefully be doing that again, because if I can make it to Virginia and he can make it to Virginia, we'll both travel there. We can spend the whole day or even several days going to different towns in Virginia, trying, different historical places out and trying local restaurants out. Mr. JT says, I am not really a drinker, but being from Kentucky, bourbon, I belong to Kentucky. Also,
Kentucky's got the best bourbon. I'll admit that one. Kentucky's got the best bourbon.
I will have to try that. Thank you, JT. Mr. Rick Fenner Harding says, howdy, y'all. Howdy, Rick. Great to see you. And to answer your question on the brand, Billy said yes. So one of the things I've done is I used to be a really good wine taster, and bourbon tasting is very similar. You just describe different notes of it. So one of the things that I first do is I look at the color. Like, how does the color look? How do I describe it? This one right here is a light amber. It's a very, very light see-through color, very translucent. It smells like fresh caramel. And if I could, even better describe it, it smells like salted caramel. So if I think of like salted caramel pretzels, it has a really nice, sweet scent to it. So I'm going to take a quick sip. No burn, very smooth, very fresh. And it kind of, what the brand says, it's made with the wonderful water from, said that with a bit of a New York accent, water from the Rocky Mountains. It really is smooth like that. It's incredibly delicious. This makes a really good mint julep that lets the mint come through a lot. It does not conflict with the mint. It actually makes a very sweet mint julep. And I've done mint juleps with Breckenridge bourbon whiskey. And speaking of which, I would check out this little thing right here. And this is how to become a subscriber, because if y'all like, wanting to learn how to make new drinks, Jude here is a pro at bartending. And he showed us how to make a delicious coconut. Was it coconut rum margarita?
Coconut margarita. This is just a little setup.
That's
a very
real
little
pro.
setup that I had. Well, again, I used to bartend at 2 separate Mexican restaurants, so I'm pretty good at it. Again, I like teaching Southerners how to drink. So
that's right. That's right. And like the part of our culture. Let's see what else we got. Oh, that's right, Mr. Dan. Oh, there's a bit of an echo on your end, I think, Jude. Dan says nothing like some apple pie shine. That is right. All right, let's take a shot, y'all. And I'm going to put this to the audience. What should we toast to? I always like interacting with our audience. It's pretty fun. And second question I'm going to ask is, what is y'all's favorite drink, Southern drink? There's a restaurant in Gettysburg that makes several Confederate drinks, including Bellboy's Revenge. Another one is the General Lee, which is a lemon-themed one because the General loves citrus. And I think there is a third somewhere. That's right. I have a wonderful recipe for that, Billy, and that's a really good point you make. Billy says another drink us Southerners are known for is our winemaking skills with muscadine and blackberries when in season. Anything that you can ferment like berries, Southerners did that. Part of it was, learning what tastes good. Another huge part of it was safety, because a lot of water back then could have been contaminated. And the one thing Southerners did was, if you could ferment something, it was safe, because the fermentation process, it's all science here, y'all, with some awesome history. Fermentation produces ethanol alcohol, and that kills bad bacteria that would otherwise be harmful to us. So like back in the day, they used to make apple wine. This is something that I keep this recipe alive whenever you had apple trees. It was an old colonial recipe. And whatever I don't drink or we drink as friends and family, we convert into apple cider vinegar. So it's pretty cool to do that. And, there's different brands of wine that are all over the South. Mr. Christian says Mustang grapes here in Texas. Yummy, yummy, yummy. Texas and California both have something really interesting with their grapes, y'all. When you're fermenting, you use special grapes for winemaking. These grapes have more sugar. In a lot of land where you have a lot of sun and a lot of heat, it's just the perfect threshold where you don't overheat the grape and kill the plant. So what that allows is more sugar production and a stronger wine, which is a stronger alcohol by volume. That's right, 100%. Mr. Christian brings up a great point here. Lincoln and Rockefeller crushed the ethanol industry. 110%. All right, so what should we toast to, y'all? Right here. Toast to a new monument. I love this. Toast to new monuments. Sharing is caring. Become a subscriber. I love this. And remember, y'all, to put this in perspective, if we get 1,000 yearly subscribers, that will equal a new 12-foot Lee statue that y'all are going to decide where we put up, because our goal.
Year, by the way.
What happened?
That's a year, by the way. That's if we get 1,000 subscribers yearly, that's a 12-foot Lee statue a year.
That's right.
That means every year there's a new Lee statue going up.
And hopefully, hey, if we get even more than that, there could be 2 more Lee statues going up. This is up to all of y'all here, because remember, it took time for our ancestors and the brave women of the South to fundraise, raise enough funds so they can start having a huge hootenanny, putting up these amazing monuments all across Dixie. All right, so toast to putting up a new monument.
New monuments.
Deo Bendice.
They're good stuff. Let me chase my coconut margarita. Again, if you're not a subscriber, I'm trying to work this out. We may be doing a Sun bartending episode for Jeff to say was his birthday. His birthday is on Saturday. The episode will probably be on Friday. We'll try and do one. We'll make a couple sudden drinks. Go ahead and comment if you've ever heard of a sudden musket. If you're drinking a sudden musket, comment.
Thank you so much. The Confederate Veteran says, great work, gents. Thank you so much. And it's what I love about our movement. I met a wonderful gentleman this week, and I don't know if I have permission to give him a personal shout out. So I'm not going to say that full name. Met a wonderful gentleman this week who was absolutely fantastic. We had a great little side chat, and he is a young gentleman. He's in his early 20s, and he joined a local SCV camp. It was fantastic to see that he's being involved in his heritage and promoting the heritage and going out there and fighting and standing up for this. I gave him a huge hug, and it was awesome to see that he was out there and he was fighting for the cause, going to county meetings, defending the local monument, being proactive. And that's something that I want to see from everyone. And this is just warmed my heart.
I want to give some good news. We had and you guys keep a lookout for it because I'm going to do a post here soon about we just celebrated the anniversary of the Battle of Dallas New Hope Church. We had 2 new reenactors. So they joined, they shot their muskets, and it was great.
That's really good. I don't know if anyone is still able to see this, but it says that we've had some kind of a streaming issue. So if anyone is still watching this, let us know if it's okay. And if not, remember y'all that because sometimes it happens on the end of StreamYard. If something does go wrong, the full video will be fully intact when it uploads. So when we finish this and you go back there and watch it, it will be all there because sometimes live streaming something on their end or Facebook's end might be an issue. But yeah.
It happens sometimes.
It does.
It happens. But we have some exciting things happening here at Monuments Across Dixie. If you can see this, I'm going to let you know you need to keep your eye out for our online store. We have an online store coming up here in the next couple of days where you can buy this shirt, Who Are the Tejanos? If you don't know who the Tejanos are, look at some of our posts. Other than the t-shirt, we're going to have little monuments coming up because we want you to be able to create your own monument avenue here at Monuments Across Dixie. So we're working on that as well. Also, shameless plug, watch SCV Chat.
That's right.
Figure out, Vinny, what's going on with the live stream.
I'm trying. For other people, it did go down. Some people say they can still see it. So we'll just go, through with it, and whatever we finish up, uploading, it will all go up there. It just happens every now and again, and I think what happens is either on Facebook's end or here, if they do work on the platform or whatever, it can interrupt the stream, and that does happen. I know when I had Nurse Ashley on here, we had the same problem. Kind of like something we have no control over. Although, funny story time, y'all are gonna appreciate this. So when you're traveling down in Dixie, it's all too common that we try to find a local affordable hotel or something, and sometimes you have good hotel service and sometimes you have bad hotel service. Now for me, I had a really good time in Lexington at the Quality Inn. Fantastic staff there. Everyone is very kind. So the staff is wonderful. Now something that was totally beyond their control happened. They have an issue in Lexington with the squirrels. The squirrels are everywhere. They like to dance on the power lines. Sometimes they play with the lines, and that causes a tune-out. So they had a huge issue with the squirrels jumping on the power lines. It caused the lines to break, and it caused the power of the hotel to go off. So the transformer exploded. I heard a loud popping sound. It was like a giant boom. I thought it was a cannon. Then all of a sudden, the lights are just going, and all of a sudden, boom. Everything went off in the hotel. So the power went off, TV went off, and it just so happened I had to check out that day. So thankfully, I didn't have to sleep without air conditioning.
And Vinny, you and I have been in some difficult situations when it comes to hotel rooms.
Yeah, I don't know. Thankfully, this wasn't the case with the room. Sometimes you get a hotel room and it stinks. I had a hotel room down at the Jersey Shore, and it smelled like cottage cheese.
Okay, so we found out why our live stream isn't going. We're gonna stop that, right, Vinny? You see it? Apparently, they have a problem with us promoting the heavy spirits. We're not going to promote the heavy spirits anymore.
That is just really ridiculous.
But I've roomed with Vinny a couple times. Vinny's been a pretty good roommate. I'll say I'm a rougher roommate to deal with than Vinny is because I'm constantly doing stuff. It's like so here's the thing. Vinny's asleep in the bed, and I come in at like 2, 3 in the morning. We can't drink on the live stream, apparently. I come in drunk as can be. I gotta take a shower. I gotta do this. I've gotta do that. And Vinny's just in the bed asleep. But he deals with it well. He doesn't complain. He just lets me do my thing, and then I go to bed. So, reunions are always fun with Vinny. Hey, if you're in the chat and you're going to this year's reunion, drop a comment because we want to know who's going to this year's reunion because we want to hang out with you. Because this is a brotherhood. I mean, this isn't just Jude and Vinny and everyone. This is a brotherhood. We want to know if you're going to the reunion. Let us know. We want to meet up. We want to have a good time. We want to have some fun. I'm going to drink my lemon lime juice. It's just lemon lime juice. Just lemon and lime.
That's right.
So if you go to a reunion, let us know.
So I think we definitely covered some of the good stuff. Do y'all want to call it a day?
That's for me if the commoners are going to call it a day.
Yeah, so it's giving us some trouble, y'all. But all right, figure we'll call it a day. It's a decently quick episode, but remember, y'all, get out there, visit these monuments, flag those graves, and never back down. You have any last words for Memorial Day this weekend?
If you're not too hungover tomorrow, go out, visit a grave, and think about it for a little bit. I mean, I know we think of Memorial Day as a day to party and have a good time, and you can do that. You really can. But before you party and have a good time, maybe go out to a grave, a Revolutionary grave, Confederate soldier grave, World War II grave, and just really think about the sacrifice these men made. Because I'm not making a sacrifice. I'm not putting my life on the line. Think about what they did. They put their life on the lines for us. So think about that tomorrow.
Absolutely. Well said. Do you want to talk a little about your Confederate ancestor, Jude? Because normally I end these videos where people
can
go for it.
I do. So my Confederate ancestor was Franklin Doss Parson. He was a good man. So I live in Dallas, Georgia. My ancestors has been here for a long time. My Confederate ancestor, Franklin Doss Parson, was born in 1833 before Paulding County, before Dallas, Georgia was established. He was one of the founding members of Dallas, Georgia. And he helped found the town in 1853. And then when he founded the town in 1853, not too many years later, we went to war. And that town was now part of the Confederate States of America. And my ancestor said, I'm going to enlist. I'm going to fight. Here's what I love about my ancestor. My ancestor, no Yankee killed him. My ancestor did not die at the hands of a Yankee. God knew the only way to take my ancestor out was by disease. So my ancestor died of measles in Mississippi. And his grave is well taken care of. But, I just want to honor Franklin D. Parson tonight, who fought for the Confederacy, fought for the cause that he knew was right, and who died for the cause. Died of disease in Mississippi. And, he wanted better for me and what we have, but I'm doing my best. All doing my best. So to Franklin D. Parson, thank you for what you do. Proud of you. And he used new weapons. Apparently, Franklin D. Parson, my ancestor, my third great-grandfather, used new weapons in the war. So kudos to him. Franklin D. Parson.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Jude, and salute to your ancestor. He definitely, was innovative in using new technology. That's something that's really Southern. We dare to be different. We dare to think. We dare to try new things. With that being said, you all stay Southern, and Deo Vindice.